A friendly reminder to every beautiful woman out there. Now, if your man asks you, what do you bring to the table? It means one thing. It means that you're killing that man with bills. So if a man asks you that, I'd like you to step back a little, reassess yourself, and ask yourself, how much bills are you placing on this guy? Now, a lot of men are asking this question now because just as feminist ideas has made women to deprive men of those privileges which society has assigned to man as the benefit of friendship or marriage, and yet expect the man to increase his responsibility towards her. Now, this comes as a result of a genuine need which women have mismanaged in feminism or in feminist ideas. Now, men are also as broken as women with respect to the masculist ideas or ideologies or pedagogy or system with which we have been grown or nurtured into. Men are as broken as women because a lot of men find themselves in a lifestyle they did not design for themselves. Now, with the rise of feminist ideas is also a dissatisfaction from men. And men are beginning to ask the question, if this woman says she's my equal, how come I am paying the bills and I'm paying through my nose for her bills? And all she does is to give me bills. And yet, she acts as my equal. Now, I did not mean to imply that men are superior to women or women are superior to men. From my own understanding or from my own assertion, masculist and feminist ideologies are destructive, just like each other. My proposal is that the both genders should come to a round table and discuss, talk about themselves and understand themselves from each other's perspective. Because sometimes when you look at what the feminists are complaining about, it is nothing more than the fact that they expect men to be emotional just like them in matters that concern the men. And if you look at it from a masculinist perspective, some guys are going to tell you women are stupid, they are this, they are not logical, they can't think, they are so emotional. And that emotion is what rubs off the guy, is what sets him, is what triggers men. So men expect women to think logically. But biologically, the two genders are not wired to work from this other perspective. Men are genetically wired to be logical, to use the left side of the brain. Women are genetically, naturally wired to use the right side of the brain. So there has to be difference in thinking. Until if, as a result of understanding or as a result of the fact that we have identified an issue, we begin to instill a different way of life into the younger generation, it will take generations before the new ideology sits. But for now, that we're in a crisis precipitated by masculinist and feminist ideas, there is a need for adjustment from the both parties. So if your man asks you, what do you bring to the table? Some women may say, I am the table. You're not the table. You're not a table. Because if you're a table, people will sit on you, or people will keep their foods on you and use you like a piece of rag. After all, normally people eat on their dining tables and abandon the plates there. Sometimes the remnants go bad, the whole dining is smelling. People do a lot of things. People have sex on their tables. So you're not the table. But what I need you to do is to look back. Take a step backward and reassess yourself. If there are needs that you have been putting on this guy financially, I need you to slow down a bit. Slow down on those bills. Reduce your demands on him. Then find a way to start earning money and foot your personal bills. Especially if you're a feminist. Because from my own understanding, or by my own assertion, feminism starts with a woman being able to take care of herself financially, and every other thing that a man does for you or a man does for a woman, do for yourself. Since you have deprived the man of those things. Like if you go to some families, it's no longer the woman's responsibility to prepare the food, make food for the husband. Some husbands come back from work and they have to fix their food. It's no longer a woman's responsibility to be that nurturing presence that recharges a man. Or she's like the challenging factor that puts his manhood to test, to challenge. So, if your man asks you what you bring to the table, there are two options. One, like I've just said, you can step back and reduce your load on him, pay for your bills. But if you're still a woman that wants peace in your family, you want harmony, reassess yourself, reduce your bills, and find a way to make the man understand that you don't want to put load on him. Men have soft spots. The best thing a man wants to do, in fact, what nurturing has made men to think is that you must provide for your woman. So a man does his best to provide for the woman he loves. But when the woman begins to demand for things that the man is not able to provide as a result of his limited finances, he places so much stress on the man. As life has shown, a lot of men do a lot of nasty things to earn money just because they want to satisfy their woman. So there's already a pressure on men. Sometimes you see some men, they're up to the age of marriage, but they tell you, I don't want to marry because I don't want my wife to suffer. I want to give her the kind of life I want. And so some men want to wait till they have certain things before they get married. That's because he loves the woman. A man wants to give you the best. So just readjust a few things, and you will find harmony in your home. Harmony will come again. Now, if you look at it from another perspective, the function of a woman in a man's life is to nurture the dreams of the man to reality. Now, it's just like a man deposits sperm in a woman and she gives birth to a child. Now, when a man has a dream that his woman supports, what that woman does is to add her spiritual energy to that goal, that dream, that vision. And there's a multiplication in the man's life. That means that, like, okay, the Holy Writ to say one will chase 1,000, but two will chase 10,000. That is because whatever you deposit in a woman, she multiplies it times 10. So that means that if a man is hustling and is putting in 60% effort and is gaining 10 or 20% results when he's alone, if a good woman comes into the life of that man may reduce his effort to 30% and he will start earning result of 120%. Why? Because there is a force, there's a spiritual force that has come to intercede for him. Because naturally, men are not really very spiritual. Men believe in, I can do it. I'm a man. I can muzzle it out. And this actually limits men in the field or in the workplace or in their career. Because sometimes there's a need for that spiritual energy which we all generate through prayers. But it's so unfortunate that even some men don't pray for God to solve their career problems. They look at it like outside the domain of God. So a man doesn't really ask God to solve his problem. It's a woman that comes into a man's life and inspires that spiritual longing, that spiritual strength. And when a woman does that, there's a transformation in the man's life. So before a woman should demand from a man, find out how much does your man make? How much does he sacrifice for the family to be good? Because experience has shown that most times when a man gets married, he does everything to make sure the wife and kids are looking good. Even if he looks in rags, he himself dresses in rags, he makes sure the wife is looking better. So, when a good woman comes into the life of a man, she impels and compels a magnificent transformation. That means that whatever a man is doing, if a woman comes into his life, that thing blows up more than times 10. And if the woman has that nurturing spirit in the friendship or in the marriage, that explosion, that open doors, that breakthrough keeps coming. Then the woman has to find a way to keep her needs below the earnings of a man. If you do that as a woman, your man will love you beyond. Your man will go out there, he sees what you think you like, he will get it for you. Because he knows you like it and he knows that you are putting in effort into his career. You may never be able to tell him, okay, do like this or do like this or try this way, or you may not be able to do that. But when you kneel down to pray for a man, you draw down divine benevolence on him. So, if you want a man to spend a lot on you, start by praying so much for him. Pray for God according to your understanding to open the ways for him. However your religion or your philosophical system or your thought mechanism, however you have been groomed to pray for your man. Ask for that divine blessing and you'll be surprised at the financial breakthrough he will get. Then find a way to talk to your man. Find a way to make him feel comfortable with you. Because sometimes the challenge here is that some women have this sense of entitlement. Like because they're in your life, you must provide for them. And if you're not able to provide for their needs, then it is your fault. What they fail to realize sometimes is that you as a woman, when you come into a man's life, you can be a snag in his life that can prevent his own growth. Because when you fail to give a man harmony, men love peace, especially with the woman they love. A man can fight with the whole world because a man's whole life is full of wars, battles, both in the career place and every other place. So when a man comes home or comes to his significant other, he seeks peace. That's why a man drops his guard when he is in the presence of the woman he loves. He drops his guard and he becomes very vulnerable. That's why it is said that when you want to destroy any man, you use a woman he loves, or you use the woman he loves. Now, I know some men will say, it's not possible, no woman can ruin me and all that. But the truth is, if you're that type listening to this, I want to tell you that you have not understood it yet. No matter how strong you think you are, even if you're the tyrant alpha male, or you're that tyrant in your home who leads by autocracy, if a woman wants to bend you, she will bend you, she will break you. How many people have you killed? Where is your liver? Do you have nerves? You think you're a man? Check out the world's greatest generals who fought in the battlefield. I'm talking of people like Julius Caesar. I'm talking of warlords like Genghis Khan. These people were brought down by women. Now, let's factor something. In the olden times, war was fought with ruggedity and brutality. We're not talking of today, you take a gun, you get it to the war front, you shoot, and you're killing people carelessly, people you don't see. You kill them. You fly a plane, you drop missiles, you drop bombs, thousands of people are dying. No. When we talk about war in those days, you have to carry your sword, get into the war front, and you're slaughtering people from morning till night. So your mind has to be behind you or under your feet for you to be able to do that. Do you know what it means? You're slaughtering people, you're stabbing people, they are bleeding, and they are fighting, and you're killing them. You do this for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. Because battles of those ages lasted for months. They had sieges where countries laid to siege another country or another community. So we're talking about men who had liver, who had mind, who had nerves of steel. But these men were brought down by women. In the world's history, there are 4 of the most rugged generals who fought wars from the front, not from the back. You have Genghis Khan. You have Achilles. You have Leonidas. That's the guy that was used in the story of 300 Spartans. And you have Alexander the Great. Now, so many other generals were brought down by women. In the real story, Achilles was brought down by a woman after he slept with an unknown prostitute. Genghis Khan died after he slept with one of his wives, because his attitude was he goes to a place, captures a city, and converts the women he likes to his wives. After sleeping with one of his wives, that was how he died. Caesar was used to play football by a woman. What's the other guy? I've forgotten the name of the other guy that fought with Caesar. He was used also by, I think, was it Nefertiti or no? one of this Egyptian princess. I can't really recall the name. So, no matter how strong you think you are, a woman can ruin you. But at the same time, a woman has the strength to make you whom you never thought, you never dreamt of being. Because a woman has the power to draw down divinity far, far better than you can. So, as a woman, you can increase your man's earning, then find a way to talk to him, make him feel comfortable with you. You don't demand things from him. Appeal to him. Make him understand you need these things, and he will provide them for you. Men are as soft as women, but under the right condition. So, once more, the question of what do you bring to the table is a symptom of great problem or stress within a relationship. And if you're a woman, you desire harmony in your relationship, work on that, and you make your life a better place. Thank you for listening to this. A friendly reminder to every beautiful woman out there. Now, if your man asks you, what do you bring to the table? It means one thing. It means that you're killing that man with bills. So if a man asks you that, I'd like you to step back a little, reassess yourself, and ask yourself, how much bills are you placing on this guy? Now, a lot of men are asking this question now because just as feminist ideas has made women to deprive